Hello and welcome back, everyone. So today we have a updated deck profile for you all. I have updated my FROGNARCH deck with a bit of tech as well as a pretty interesting side, I would say. I think it's actually pretty good, and it actually dealt with a lot of issues that I was having versus other decks with them swarming the field. And before we go ahead and jump into the video, I would like to thank everyone for dropping by. Do not forget to go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel, so that way, you know, I can keep on making content for you guys, as well as it helps push my content out there, so that way we can grow the audience. Also, if anyone is looking to support me a little bit more directly, I do have a Patreon. Information for that is down in the description below. Any and all support is welcome. So let's go ahead and jump into the video, which is the updated FROGNARCH deck. So for starters, it is the same 10 cards that everyone should be running, which is 3 Substitoad, 3 Swamp Frog, 2 Dupe. Now, I have seen other lists run 3, but I feel like 2 is actually the sweet spot, and you could place an argument to run the 3rd, and then the 2 Treeborn Frogs. Now, this is the same 10 cards that everyone should be running. You can add the extra dupe if you want, but this is the one part of the deck that really never gets touched whatsoever, and then everything else following is interchangeable depending on how your locals is or how you would like to play. Now, getting into the tribute monsters, we are still playing the 3 Caius the Shadow Monarch. It's, you know, it's Caius, it's Edison. Banishing is just so oppressive, and just being able to deal with problematic cards and getting them off the board is just fantastic, because it doesn't destroy, it just, oh, banish, goodbye. We are playing the 2 Ryza. I was playing this at 3. I cut it down to 2 in favor of some of the other cards that I will be following, just because it felt a little bit too much at 3, especially if I would draw 2 Ryzas back to back, and it wouldn't really advance like my game state too much, kind of like how Caius would. So I'm sitting at 2. I like 2, and I think I will keep it at 2 for the future. Then we're gonna move on to Vanity's Fiend. I am running 2 of these in the main. It is a very oppressive card. Going first, going second, it doesn't matter. The second Vanity's Fiend hits the playing field, your opponent immediately has to out it somehow, or else they're going to be in a world of hurt, especially if they have faders or they have Gores or Tragodia. They can't even special summon, so any plan they had of being like, oh, I can go ahead and stall for a couple turns, is thrown out the window, and they immediately have to deal with it. And if they don't, then they immediately just lose. We are playing 2 Dark Dust Spirits. This is a fantastic card, being able to just blow up a field the second things are starting to get a little bit out of hand. And I believe in the 14-man tournament that I played in, it actually came up quite often, and it was constantly setting back my opponents just how you would like it to do. Then for the last tribute, we do have 1 Gores. I mean, you don't normally ever tribute summon this monster, but seeing as in Frogs doesn't really play much back row, it is a nice little buffer to go ahead and like stop someone's frontal attack, and being able to get a token as well as Gores on board to just save you, especially if you don't have like a Treeborn or a Fader to go ahead and get some tribute fodder on board. This is a great way to just go ahead and start getting your monarchs in hand turned online. Moving on, we are running the 2 Junk Synchrons. I have thought about cutting this down to 1. However, I need synchro plays, especially going into games 2 and 3 when Massive Restrict starts coming in. This is the card that tends to get me out of that pickle, because I'll just go ahead and summon it, bring back whatever I need in the graveyard, and then make a Brio and then bounce it and then continue on with my turn. And it's just really great in a pinch, especially with Econ, to go ahead and take like maybe a level 4, and like you have Treeborn Engrave comes back, special summon, then boom, you have like Stardust or whatever other rank or 8-star synchro that you really need. We are running still triple Battle Fader. Fader is just too good to go ahead and just stall out the game. I actually won a game in time because I had Battle Faders, and it also turned online and got some extra damage in from some of the cards that I have in the side, foreshadowing here, and it helped out a lot. And I think even one of the games that I played, that I will have all of those up soon, I started off the hand with 3 Battle Faders, and I was able to stall out long enough so that way I can go ahead and get some of my Monarchs and my Frog Engine going. And then lastly, for the monsters, I am running 1 Crystal Seer. So a big thing with this deck really is that like sometimes you just don't draw what you need. So like game 1, being able to set Crystal Seer, pass, they swing into it thinking, maybe it's YGO, maybe it's, dupe or something like that. They swing into it, it flips, I get the effect, I look at the top 2 cards, and then I can hopefully see some of my engine that I need, and then go ahead and put the worst card to the bottom, and then go ahead and get that next draw. And hopefully maybe those 2 cards were the bricks, and it would have like really stalled me out and possibly cost me the game. Instead, I look at those 2, grab the best one, put the other one in the bottom, and now I'm on to my 3rd draw when it passes back to my turn. And hopefully, if the first 2 is one of those wasn't it, maybe the 3rd one's it. I like it as a little tech option to just go ahead and just get a little bit, dig deeper into the deck. And that's about it. Moving on to the spells. I am still playing 3 enemy controller. I've seen some lists play 2. I believe if you're playing the hero variant, then 2 is fine. However, in Pure Frogs, 3 I feel like is mandatory. It's just way too good to go ahead and just steal away problematic cards that your opponent has. Or if you're facing Titanial, you can just go ahead and burn the Titanial immediately right there. Because I guarantee you they're not going to want you to get their Titanial. It's no, just no. We are running the 1 Heavy Storm, 1 MST, 1 Brain Control, and 1 1-for-1. These I feel like are pretty standard in every single list. We are running 1 Pot of Avarice. This has actually come up quite a bit. I know some Frog decks have cut it, and I know a lot don't play it. I'm still playing it. I really enjoy it. It goes ahead and gets all my Monarchs back into my deck, or my Junk Synchrons that I've already burned. So it goes ahead and allows me to go ahead and keep on making plays, especially if I'm like running low on Monarchs, or like I just haven't seen any and I'm like, I've already gone Frog combo. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and put all this back, and we're gonna hope that I can go ahead and get these 2 draws, get a Monarch. We are running 2 Soul Exchanges in the main. I was running 3, but I cut one out to throw into the side. Mainly just that way whenever I'm going second, I can go ahead and put the 3rd one in and possibly take out maybe an Econ or something like that in exchange. So that way I have a better going second hand than going first. Moving on to the traps, we are running 2 Threatening Roars. I have been possibly thinking about putting a 3rd one into the side. I haven't done so yet. I was going to do it before the event, before the locals, but I decided not to, just to test out the 2. And I think I still might throw in the 3rd, but I'll leave it up to you guys to let me know what y'all think I should take out of my side in exchange for it. And if you all can make a compelling argument down there in the comments below, I'll definitely take it into consideration and possibly do it, and then update y'all and let y'all know how it goes. I am still running 1 Raigeki Break in the main and 1 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. The Phoenix Wing is essentially another Ryza, except it doesn't cost me a tribute, and it's something I can go ahead and activate in the standby phase to go ahead and get rid of something problematic on my enemy side of the field, and then be able to go into a Monarch play when Treeborn comes out during the standby phase. Now, I am running a 41. You can roast me all you want, all right? But Dust Shoot is my 41st card. I mean, if I draw it later on, whatever, I'll just use it to pitch for like Raigeki Break or Phoenix Wing, or maybe even later in the game my opponent still has 4+ cards in the hand, and then I'll just go ahead and activate it then. It's just too good of a card not to use, and I'm running it as the 41st. Going into the side, all right, this is where things get a little spicy. All right, as you can see, we are running 2 Trap Eaters in the side. This is mainly because a lot of people are running Mask of Restrict, as well as, you know, maybe they're I'm coming across a macro deck and I can just go ahead and just get rid of the Macrocosmos, deal with it immediately, and not have to deal with it anymore. And then I'm able to actually like turn my engine on live. And then the fact that it's also a tuner, so I can go ahead and like summon out something, make like level 5, level 6, maybe even more synchro, is actually really nice. Also, the fact that it doesn't take up a normal summon means I can go ahead and special this out, tribute their, what is it, their Master Restrict, and then go ahead and, you know, use it as fodder for like a Caius or like a Riser or something like that. I think it's really neat. I think it's really nice. I think it's a little bit slept on in Frog decks, and I'm considering bumping it to 3. Again, the side, it's a little tight, and I don't really know what else I'm going to take out for it, but we'll see how it goes. We are still running double DD Crow, and 3 feels like too much, 2 feels like just the right amount, and 1 just feels terrible unless you're playing quick draw. Here's some more spice. We are running double Lava Golem, right? 2 Lava Golems. Now this is coming over from me playing advanced, and Lava Golem being just an absolute powerhouse of a card for clearing boards. And seeing as in Frogs goes ahead and builds up the dupe block most of the time, and your opponent just sits there, set 1 pass or summon 1 pass, and then eventually you have 2 or more monsters on board. You can be like, we're just going to go ahead and tribute these 2 and summon this to your side of the field, and we'll just go ahead and pass, and we're going to let you burn for 1,000 every single turn. And if you do end up clearing one of the dupes, I do have the threatenings or Raigeki Breaks or whatever it is to go ahead and prevent you from clearing my board and getting damage in. I think it's neat. I think it's dope. Let me know what y'all think. I am running the 1 Consecrated Light. It's just, you know, Black Wings as well as, you know, zombies. I can go ahead and 1-for-1 this out, and then they got to sit there and just be like, well, I guess I don't get to play. We are running 1 Jinzo in the side. This is another thing. I'm really liking it. Just going ahead and summoning it out and then turning off all their traps, and then being able to swing with impunity, not having to worry about, you know, Master Restrict, you know, Bottomless, you know, all these other crazy trap cards that everyone runs. And seeing as I don't really run any, it's beautiful. It really is. And then that's enough for the monsters in the side. Now let's get on to the spells and traps. We are running double Super Poly. All right. I think it's a busted card. The fact that it's at 3 in Edison is just disgusting. And it in the mirror, it versus like any frog deck, or not frog deck, but like any like hero frogs, you know, hero decks, I can just go ahead and be like, oh, okay, I'll just set this back, and then I'll like summon Treeborn, or Treeborn will come back, and I'll just set Super Poly and then past her, and then they'll like MST it if they have like a hero on board or something like that, and then I'll just be like, all right, Super Poly, and then I'll bring out my Absolute, and then now they have to deal with that whole ass card. We are running a 1 Burial from a different dimension. You know, it's just nice to go ahead and have it as a way to go ahead and get all of our like frogs, like our Treeborns, back into the graveyard. I have thought about maybe swapping this out and putting in Necroface as a way to just go ahead and just get all my stuff back into the deck. But I think I'm going to save that for like another deck. But Necroface is definitely a tech that I'm looking at and putting in quite a few of my decks, to where a lot of my stuff gets banished and I want to get it back. So Necroface might be something I might put in, but Burial is just a good way to just go ahead and they'll go DD Crow, Treeborn in standby, and I'll be like, okay, on resolution, still in standby, Burial, bring back Treeborn, Okay, cool. I'm gonna still proceed with my play anyways. Congratulations for burning that card. Thank you. You know, we do have the one soul exchange, like I said, and then we are running one chain disappearance. You know, this also hinders other frog decks as well as quick draw decks and hero decks, especially whenever they summon evil hero. What is it? Evil hero prodigy. I'll just go ahead and change disappearance, and then they're just like, what? Or they summon diva, and then I'm like, change disappearance, and then they're just like, what? And then yeah, no. Go ahead and get wrecked. All your aquas are gone. Second nerd. And then for the last two cards, we do have two compulses. I was able to pick up the CR version of this. It looks absolutely stunning. I love it. It's also just a way to go ahead and deal with, you know, Absolute Zero, the card we have in our extra deck, as well as, you know, the opponent's Absolute or Christia or whatever. We can just go ahead and get rid of it and continue on with our plays. Now, moving into the extra deck. I mean, we don't necessarily synchro too much with this deck whatsoever, but, you know, we do occasionally. We are running the two absolutes to match up with the two super polys. We got the one Ally Justice Cadaster, one Armory Arm, one Black Rose, one Bryonic, a Colossal Fighter, a Dark End Dragon, Flamvel, Ukioris. I butchered that name. I know it. Roast me, please. Or someone tell me how to pronounce that name. We have the one Goyo, we have one Iron Chain, we have one Junk Warrior, one Stardust, one Thought Ruler, and then a card that I did not realize I didn't have in my deck until I tried to bring it out. Magical Android. I realized that I made an oopsie and I had two of the Flamvel cards in my extra deck instead of one of them being a Magical Android. And I realized that I left the Magical Android at home. So that almost cost me a game, but it didn't. And yeah, no, we ended up winning that game, thankfully. But yeah, no, that is it. That is my updated frog list. The side deck is the main thing that I've definitely been working on a little bit, trying out new tech. And then in the main, you know, we have like a couple cards here and there. So let me know what you guys think. If there's anything in here you would change, let me know down in the comments. We'll also have the tournament that I was in. We had 4 rounds. I'll have those up throughout the week. And yeah, I don't really have any information on any tournaments coming up soon, but if we do, I will let you guys know, as well as I'll have it posted down in the comments below. Thank you all a bunch. Have a good one, and happy dueling.